Welcome back to Linus Tech Tips, and in today's episode, we're building a gaming chair for none other than the man himself, Dream.
Now, obviously, everybody knows that he lost all credibility once that one Gamers Nexus video came out, but...
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I'm not gonna deny that I dropped my fair share of hard R's back then.
Are you talking like N-word hard R?
What? No.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's how people use that term.
No.
I think
That's
so.
the N-word.
Linus Tech Tips supposedly took that on the chin and said he will improve the channel. So let's watch one of his more recent videos. Let's just click on this video about the PlayStation Portal.
If you were expecting me to jump on the hate bandwagon for this thing, you're gonna end up sorely disappointed.
Why am I still getting hate?
It does help make blacks pop, and it looks pretty darn good. I dropped my fair share of hard R's back then.
Oh no, he is 100% being bought and paid for by Sony here. So while Linus is explaining and warming you up to the future of cloud gaming and streaming your video games, because he had a child once, let me explain, what is this hunk of junk? It looks like a Wii U gamepad. Well, that's quite literally what it is. You know how the Wii U, it was marketing the gamepad as, hey, is your dad watching football on the TV and you can't watch it or else you will get a beer thrown at your skull? Well, just play Wind Waker HD on your Wii U gamepad. But make sure you don't leave the room. You're gonna have to hear your dad shouting many slurs at every single football player. That is pretty much the only use that I can really find for the PlayStation Portal. Because if you have a phone with a backbone controller, then you can also cloud stream your games to that phone. Not to mention that for you to be able to cloud stream games from your PlayStation 5, your PlayStation has to be on. You can take your PlayStation Portal anywhere that has Wi-Fi unless it's a public Wi-Fi and where you have to use a browser to sign in, because the PlayStation Portal in 2023 does not have a browser or Bluetooth. Come on, we all thought this was ridiculous back in 2017 when the Nintendo Switch came out.
I'm definitely picking up on a little bit of a delay, but Hollow Knight's a pretty unforgiving game as far as that goes, and this is not bad. What are we looking at?
150 milliseconds.
150 milliseconds, and that is complete chain?
Yes.
I do not know how Linus, of all people, can think 150 milliseconds is acceptable.
What they can't fix in software is that the sticks are measurably smaller. But it's the kind of thing that I didn't notice until I went looking for it, and makes sense when you consider that this is a device that's likely to be stuffed into your backpack. Say maybe in this handy little screen safe spot right here.
You guys thought that Sniper Wolf's cookies were too much? Just wait until you get a load that Linus Tech Tips is selling a $250 backpack. Even if I had the money to waste on a backpack, I wouldn't do it because it's a backpack. I took a look at Linus's website and he is selling a $600 deluxe version of the backpack. $600 for a backpack.
It's not light. At 529 grams, it is noticeably heavier than its nearest competitor, the Logitech G Cloud, and it even weighs more than some full-blown handheld consoles, notably the Switch OLED.
Also notice how in this shot, Linus does not compare the Switch Lite or original Switch, because obviously the Switch Lite would probably be a more beneficial example because the Switch Lite is handheld only, just like the PlayStation Portal. Also, the Switch Lite is only $200, the same price as the PlayStation Portal, and it can play games natively on the hardware.
But the real killer feature of the Portal is the price. Okay, look. I know you could just throw your phone in a backbone and game on that at a fraction of the cost, but look, hear me out, guys, okay? You get a first-party grade controller with adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. You get a decent 8-inch screen. You get a battery, speakers, Wi-Fi.
Has Linus ever defended a product like this? Oh, the speakers cost money. Speakers on a device where you can't play games natively, even though if Sony allowed you to, you probably could play at least PlayStation 1 games.
Packaging and shipping, a processor with accelerated video decode and some RAM and storage, obviously. This appears to be a Snapdragon 662 from early reports, but we don't have pricing for that, so let's use a Raspberry Pi Zero as a price proxy. You'll need an operating system that probably needed to be developed at some point.
Linus, the operating system does not cost money per device sold. The operating system is developed and then installed to every device. Considering it's Sony's proprietary operating system for the PlayStation Portal, there's no licensing fees.
And somewhere in there, you've got to find some margin for Sony's retail partners and, God willing, Sony themselves. So, look, I know $200 is a lot to ask for an accessory to a $500 device.
It doesn't have an OLED screen and it's $200. Here's the thing with this price estimate. First off, PlayStation makes the controllers in-house. PlayStation is not going to make their own handheld console while buying and reusing parts of a PlayStation 5 controller that they manufacture themselves. And obviously that $70 for a PlayStation controller would be including the profit Sony makes. Not to mention that there's some features that the PlayStation Portal controllers don't specifically need, like the touchscreen or the battery, because the tablet itself handles that. And moving on to the other components, even if it's not developed by Sony, chances are they will have a business relationship and will have a discount for buying so many of those parts. For example, if you're buying something for a business or you run a business, there are multiple stores and websites with business portals. And those prices on the business websites are much cheaper than they are for the commercial websites, because the stores know that the businesses are gonna buy in bulk. So I decided to watch an unboxing video on the PlayStation Portal, and guess what? What's the funny part about the charging? Did they pull an Apple? Well, 50%.
So it doesn't have a charge brick, but it does come with a C-to-C cable. That's fairly short. I'm really mixed feelings on this.
They decided to include a USB Type-C cable in the package, but not a block to plug into a wall. It costs $200 and doesn't come with a block.
Like the Logitech G Cloud, the Portal is dead silent and stays cool to the touch. But the G Cloud managed over 11 hours of gaming on its 6,000 milliamp hour battery. The Portal, 4.
So much for a portable device. You can only get 4 hours from cloud streaming.
In spite of its mobile-first design, the Portal has no support for Bluetooth. And that's fair enough. Even modern Bluetooth 5.x can struggle when streaming high-quality, real-time audio. But to not give me the option, if that's a drawback that I'm willing to accept, especially when the hardware is obviously in there, that's just insulting.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a lot of honesty coming from Linus right there. Criticizing Bluetooth, criticizing the battery life. Man, the only way I could spin this to be negative is if you shilled some battery pack for the PlayStation Portal.
And we're gonna have links to where to buy the PlayStation Portal and also a link to our sponsor.
Like the magnetic 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack, which has 3 charging outputs to charge 3 devices simultaneously.
So instead of subjecting yourselves to Linus Tech tip sponsors, how about you go down in the description and go to my sponsor, the Dragon's Treasure, where you can get 10% off if you use code Manic. So that is code Manic for 10% off your order of anime brand tea.
You see, Sony in their infinite wisdom has opted not to include an internet browser on the Portal, which means that as of this time, there is no way to authenticate with captive Portal wireless networks, like the kind found in restaurants, hotels, or basically anywhere that isn't your friend's or your mom's house.
So if you're anywhere where you have to sign in using a browser, your PlayStation Portal is essentially a brick.
On the subject of things you can't do with the Portal at the moment, PS Plus premium streaming. I know, WTF, right? I mean, you can stream from your own PlayStation, but not from Sony's PlayStation streaming service? Not even if it routes through your own PlayStation? In fairness, that would probably butcher the experience, but still, I think it says a lot about how low tier they had to go on the hardware to make this thing happen at this price.
Man, Linus really just swept that one under the rug. It's like, oh yeah, you can't stream from PlayStation themselves, a PlayStation Plus feature that you paid for. And guess how much it costs monthly? Because I did the research myself, and according to PlayStation.com, the premium tier of of PlayStation Plus is $17.99 a month. And if you want to save a little, a 12-month subscription bundle is $160. So 1 year of PlayStation Plus Premium, where you could cloud stream games, is $160 a year, on top of the PlayStation Portal being $200, and they're just incompatible with each other. Not to mention the proprietary headphones that you gotta use if you want Bluetooth audio. Oh, sorry, not Bluetooth, wireless headphones. PlayStation has truly become the Apple of video games. And if PlayStation is the Apple, then Microsoft is the Walmart. They're the bargain bin of gaming that nobody cares to look in.
The Portal gives more value to the console you already own. Value that I would argue is well worth the cost of admission. My only worry is whether the Portal will continue to give value beyond the PS5. See, it's hard to predict if the PlayStation 6, for example, will be able to stream to the Portal, since Sony's track record with backwards and forwards compatibility is complicated to say the least.
So this is actually a very legitimate concern, considering the PlayStation Vita, which was fully compatible when it came to remote play on the PlayStation 4, you can't do it on PS5, unless you hack your PlayStation Vita. Thank you, Sony, as if I need another reason to hack my PlayStation Vita. But please, do tell me down in the comment section below what you think about the PlayStation Portal and a Linus Tech Tips video right here. Have I been over-exaggerating it? Does Linus Tech Tips have any credibility left? Please put your opinion down in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Hope you all have a good one. Peace out.